Well, hi. Welcome to She Speaks Bravo. Today is Beverly Hills Day. So you know what that means. Pia's here and we're going to get this intro right. Right. Pia, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. We have our diamonds. I purchased these. These are, I think they were classified as paperweights.
They're pretty heavy.
And aren't they pretty? They're gorgeous. We have a lot to discuss today on the channel, but if you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Do consider subscribing. I release 3 recap episodes a week. I'm covering Atlanta, Southern Charm, and Beverly Hills. And if you're already subscribed, I love you so much. Thank you for everything. All right, let's get into it after the intro.
My name is Emily, and I have been watching Bravo TV as a form of self-care for over a decade. Needless to say, I'm a complete mess. Subscribe and follow along for painfully insightful recaps about Bravo, true crime, and other great TV. Hit that bell.
All right, guys, it's Beverly Hills Day. Pia is in the house. Hey, Pia.
Oh, hey. Oh, hey.
For those of you not watching on YouTube, you're missing Pia's really cute hat.
I had to put a hat on to distract from the fact that my face looks like crap because I was just too tired to put any makeup on. I mean, I never put makeup on, but
I was going to say, you always rock a natural face. I'm always in awe, not to make you feel uncomfortable, but I'm always like, Pia is so pretty, even without makeup.
Thank you. Like, I mean, it's just more of me being lazy. And the thing is, I don't have an in between with my makeup. I don't know how to not beat my face. And I always start I'm just gonna put a little on, and then I'm like, it just becomes a thing. And then I look like I'm going to the Met Gala. I'm like, I'm just going down the street.
Yeah. We've talked about that. I get it. You haven't said anything about my new head wrap. You haven't even mentioned it.
You know what? That is really rude of me because that was the first thing that I saw. And I have such ADD brain. I meant to say it and then I said something else and I got on a tangent. But I'm loving that. I really want that one, especially because I love that print.
I was actually going to tell you that I may give this to you.
Oh my God. I look like I just won a sweepstakes. I know, you know what I look like? I look like Dorit when she was complimenting Jamie Lee Curtis about everything that was coming out of that bag.
Wind chimes.
So chic. So chic.
Because this was purchased along with another head wrap. So this was purchased 2 years ago in a drunk purchase that I forgot completely, and it showed up. And I remember the idea behind this wrap, and to give everyone a full scope of it, I was like, I'm going to wear these out regularly. This will be my new vibe. And then they arrived and I was like, yeah, that was not going to be my identity. So this just lives in my closet. I was like, I kept it hung up somewhere that made sense. And I was like, don't throw it out. I thought I threw it out in a feng shui attack. And when I came home, I've been busy all day. When I came home, I forgot that my normal Amorphe head wrap was in the wash.
Oh,
so I was like, oh, if I'm lucky, I still have that leopard one. And I don't, it's not right on me, Pia. It would look much better.
No, I don't know. I don't love it. I don't love it because I want you to give it to me.
No, I'm giving it to you.
Oh my God. I'm not even kidding.
It's excited. Just yeah. Ooh, it is so yours.
I'm so excited especially because I really wanted to wear my black turban thing. And then I remember, and then because when I moved, I had this thing. I was like, I haven't worn this in so long. And I threw it away and I thought I kept it. And then I was like, I must have thrown it away and just did that. And I was so sad.
Yeah. Now you're going to have a leopard one. It'll look so much better on you. I don't have enough hair to fill in there. It's just not.
Oh, especially when I start rocking my natural curly hair, which I'm going to do after this last wedding I'm going to this weekend. I miss my curly hair.
I love your curly hair.
Well, it's just like I needed a break from the summer. It's the wash process each week is just daunting. But now your girl is ready for her.
Oh my God. Girls. When you told me your wash process, I was like, I'm sorry. What?
The wash process is real, folks. It's like 3 hours on a good day. And that's me rushing. Like it's really a 2-day process. If you really want it to like come out well, you get it fully dry, like really get it, rake the products in. It's curly hair it's beautiful, but it is definitely time consuming.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. I learned some tea that I think is more general tea that I think we would all benefit from because it's something that we all think is facts, but it's not. And it is that, you know how we say things like when someone's like, I didn't even want to invite you to my party, but I did. And we'll be like, well, producers made you do it. You know how we say that?
Yeah.
That's not true.
What?
So
isn't blowing my mind? I was like, what?
So
no way.
It's so okay. So they always have complete autonomy over their decisions. The only thing that will happen is obviously it's better if if a cast member goes on a cast trip because it's a cast, you want them all together. That's the show. That's what makes interesting content.
Right.
But if someone's like, I'm not inviting so-and-so, like, for example, on Vanderpump Rules season 7, when they go to Mexico and don't invite James.
Yeah.
They were allowed to do that.
See, I always thought, like, I know that on certain shows, like, people have been excluded from things, but I always felt like whenever they were allowed to do that is because it was really going with the storyline. So it would be interesting to not invite them because then that person, like, James is really reactive. He would like be more interesting not going because he would have been so pissed. So that's why they allowed them not to be invited. But like the constant icing out of somebody wouldn't work because they are an ensemble cast. So they like, for example, like I felt like on Atlanta, Marlo was forced to invite Kenya. That's what I felt, but I guess not.
I like that. I would love to know more about. Because remember with like Ramona, when Bethany was trying not to invite Ramona on the Mexico trip.
Right.
Because she was like, well, it's a cast trip. Like, I'm going to go anyway. It's a cast trip. I just won't go to the tequila thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
and so I thought that meant like literally it's a cast trip. Like we all get to go. It's a cast trip.
Yeah.
But it's more like, no, it's actually not the case. Remember when Heather, what's her fucking name? Paula Heather from RHONY didn't invite Ramona to her yummy tummy London trip.
Right. Okay.
So like it's not like they allow them to make those choices. They will absolutely step in and be like, oh, I think you should reconsider.
Okay.
But like if someone's like, I'm not inviting them, they're like, okay, that's your choice.
I get you. Yeah. I mean, and as we've definitely heard people saying like I'll refuse to film with this person. And yeah, but I feel like, but I guess that could affect their position next year and their money. Yeah. So I guess it would be in their best interest to not do that. So I was like, it's probably like, you absolutely can do whatever you want. But remember, every decision you make affects your positioning, your money.
Because it's like I guess they are
worth it.
They are paid with like episodic fees. I'm kind of like I'm generalizing, but they are paid based on how much they are on the show. Mm-hmm. So like when James was freaking out that he wasn't going to be invited to things, it was because he knew he wasn't going to get the money.
Right. Oh, that's like true.
But they will get footage of them like back at home, like not on the trip, but it's obviously not the same.
Right. Like when Stassi did not get invited to Sheena's wedding and it was like her and whatever her model
Christina.
Christina.
I hate her.
You hate her because she's boring. You know what
and
I mean?
A bitch.
She is definitely a bitch.
She is the definition of a bitch.
Well, that's why her and Stassi are best friends.
Right. And that's why Christina like wasn't on the show. They were like, wait, there's no redeeming.
Well,
you
know, this is Christina. She was a working model. She was booking more. She was probably the most successful out of that friendship group right at the time, like actually booking her modeling gigs and stuff like that. And when Made Up Rules happened, no one knew how big it was going to get. And she was probably like, yeah, I don't care about this show. I'm actually a working model. Maybe I'll appear here and there. And I feel like she really kind of stuck her nose down to the whole idea of the show. And then she's
like, damn it.
Yeah.
She's like, that wasn't my smartest business decision.
Yeah.
His head was hurting. Okay, now it's really hurting.
The plight of a black woman.
God,
this is tight when you first get it. It's a weave.
Oh, yeah. So now on to Beverly Hills gossip. Erika Jayne was served at LAX.
Jesus. She looked, first of all, she probably was like, I wish I had my glam squad now. Like, all dressed all in white. Like, it was just the irony.
I loved it so much because that process server, somebody called the Pops.
Yeah.
Somebody did. Someone was like, hey, page 6, someone's going to maybe get served at LAX. And they were like, okay, we'll be there.
That was brutal. I mean, I will have to say this, and also Lisa Rinna just like kind of off to the side there watching it all go down. I will have to say this, watching her get served. Yeah. I don't feel bad for Erika at all.
No.
But my anxiety went through the roof when she got served. Especially it's a $50 million lawsuit on top of all the other ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got such anxiety thinking about, like, if she lost every one of these cases, the amount of money that she owes, and in what lifetime would she be able to pay that back? And I was like, it's getting so out of control where I'm like, I don't even know how she would even begin to pay this back. I was just like, math equations were just flying all. I was like, what will you need to do to be? I was like, and again, it's like what I said. I was like, she needs to just figure out a way to settle and stop paying and stop fighting this, because I feel like all she's doing is prolonging the inevitable, and she's paying these lawyers all this money where she could be using that to pay back the restitution. Girl, don't steal from people. Like,
she looked so pissed when she figured out what that was. She was like, give it to me, you fucking. She was, because she knew, she's like, you clearly called the paparazzi. Like, she wasn't she wasn't by herself getting served. They were ready, and they had cameras, they had video, they had it all going.
And of course she looked like crap. I wonder, like, were they weren't filming for anything, were they? Did they just her and Lisa just happened to be on a vacation together?
And Diana.
She better go ask Diana for some money. I kept thinking about that. I was like, you better ask everyone your little rich friends for some fucking money.
Yeah, no, it was like Diana. There were pictures of Diana, Erika, and Lisa because they went to Hawaii in, like, I think it's Diana's house. So she's, mooching off another rich friend.
She needs to get some money from this woman.
Wait, did you not see the pictures of Erika, like, really mad?
I saw the pictures of her really mad. I just didn't know Diana was there too.
Yeah, and in Hawaii, right? When she's like not when she's getting served, but when they're in Hawaii, like, paparazzi took pictures of them talking, like, in the villa or whatever.
Oh no, I didn't see that. No.
Yeah. If you go to my page, you can see it. It's in the reel I made. I usually don't make reels when it's stories like this, but I wanted to get creative because I wanted to use that song. But let me see if I can find the picture in my things. Hold on real quick. I got it. But she was telling some story and getting really heated. And here, I got it right here. I'll put it, if you're watching on reel? I'll show you right now. Here. Can you see it?
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's when you know she's really mad. She makes this crazy Cruella de Vil face. It's like she clenched jaw
Yeah.
just looks like a little chihuahua gonna attack you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when you know she's for real mad. Like, not her fake, like, I'll read you mad. Like, when she is like,
we're watching a true mental breakdown.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see in the next upcoming weeks some type of headline saying that she's checked herself into some facility. You know what I mean?
I would be relieved. I'm like, she needs it. Strap her down.
She does need it. Like, because I'm having a panic attack and it's not happening to me. I really was. I was like, I mean, how are you going to pay that? I'm just like, oh,
you are so sincere right now. Pia's really, truly stressed out by this.
I'm very stressed.
I can't handle it.
It did make me feel better about my financial situation. Especially, you know what? Life's not that bad because I don't owe $50 million plus in anything.
Plus 50 million plus and counting.
I thought my Visa credit card bill was a lot. It's not.
Let's get into the episode because for crying out loud, it continues to prove our point. Because she's just finished telling Crystal, who has an eating disorder, that she should take laxatives, and has turned around to be like, what is this tray passed hors d'oeuvre you've got here? Oh, it's a chicken tender. You can't have that, Crystal.
So stupid. So tone deaf.
It was so sad because Crystal's like knee-jerk reaction was to be like, okay, I won't like to be polite and like go with the joke, but she's like only later realized like, wait, what did she just say?
Yeah, it's tough. And I know they had, those after show things that they do with the cast. I know Crystal was like she was kind of like did not understand why the whole eating disorder thing kept being brought up. Like it was not supposed to be a narrative, really. Because she was saying like something like like when she posts on Instagram, she feels like that's her personal life. And then when she's talking about something on the show, that's her like, so she never really thought the two worlds would collide in real time. Well, which I mean, that's naive of you because
that's ridiculous.
Like anything you post, those women there's a storyline there. They will bring up.
Well, it's not. Hold on. I'm actually not going to defend. I'm not defending them, but that's ridiculous of her to think she can keep two things separate.
No, I am agreeing with you, but right? I was just more so bringing up the fact that she was like not even like she really didn't think that this was going to be a part of the narrative, and when it kept being, and I think that's what comes from her like being so startled too. She's like, we're still talking about this, like, but like also yes, we're gonna still talk about it because she made it so public.
I think that is really weird logic. Actually, she said that.
Yeah, like on the thing, she said like she just didn't think like when they kept on bringing it up.
Well, I understand the continuing to bring it up is ridiculous. Although,
but yeah, she said something along those lines, like when she posted about it on her Instagram, she kind of separates that from the show. Like that's her,
I am in no mood for that nonsense right now. That is making me so pissed off.
I mean, that's a very naive.
It's also bullshit because you don't get to have your Instagram life and not have that be your real life, which we're seeing on a TV show. What the fuck is the difference?
Right.
Oh, that is making me mad.
Ooh.
Girl. Because that's ridiculous. What's the difference?
I agree. I mean, I don't know why. Like anything...
that was that she's like, I'm only going to post it on Instagram, so don't talk about it on the show. It's like, well, what else are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
What else are we going to do? Like,
I mean, I agree. I don't understand her logic. Anything you do will be, it's fair game when you sign up for a reality show, which is why I would never be on one.
Exactly.
Because it's just like you know what? I would love for you to ask your producer friends this question for me. Is it true that there are certain things that they can not that they can put in their contract that they cannot air or touch or even like get near? They have like
I'm going to write this down because I have a horrible memory.
Because like I feel like I've heard rumors of that. Like I feel like for Lisa Rinna, wasn't it?
Lisa Rinna like posted it actually.
Yeah, that's what I feel. Maybe that's who I heard it from.
She posted someone else posted that and she reposted it. And like, cause they were like, there's supposedly a Beverly Hills housewife that has this in her clause. And Lisa Rinna reposted that, which makes me feel like she's saying that is true.
Right. So I would love to know if there are. And if so, I wonder if they'll, well, I mean, I guess they can't tell you, or maybe they can tell you, but we won't know as a general. You'll just know inside your heart.
Yes. I will give you the general answer. Kathy thinking that she met Cherie before was uncomfortable. I was like, oh, no, Kathy. Oh, Kathy.
Did Kathy think that was Jada Pinkett Smith? Because like maybe she heard Will Smith's wife, like maybe didn't hear ex-wife, just heard wife. Shit. And I'm sure she has met Will Smith. Like, you know, I would. Jada has
hair. I mean, Jada has no hair, like notoriously. Like she is famously bald.
But I wouldn't put it past Kathy to think like she's wearing a wig. Like, I mean, people wear wigs sometimes. Like, I don't know.
You know what?
Kathy's not all there.
You're right. Because she never met this woman and was like, you know what? Let's go with that. She totally thought it was Jada.
I just feel like she heard Will Smith, wife, and she just said Jada Pinkett Smith. I mean, it's not like they don't. I mean, the hair aside, like they're both same complexion. Like, I mean, but Jada Pinkett is pretty tiny.
I mean, she was sitting down. Cherie was sitting down, so
true.
But it was uncomfortable.
That's funny. Oh, Kathy.
Speaking of uncomfortable, now Asher is about to sing. Before he gets set up, though, Erika goes up to like he's got the music out that he's going to sing, and she's like pretending to read it. And he literally goes, "What are you doing, girl?" Like he is not, I'm sorry. He is not dicking down Diana. Okay.
The whole episode said the same thing. I was like, this is not a genuine
I'm done pretending. She also looked like they cut to her at one point and she has a look on her face. Like she's like, you sing for the people.
Yeah.
Like this is
she's funding his album. So
exactly.
He was like, needs her return.
Exactly. She's like, what did I tell you? This was your moment.
This was his showcase. I'm surprised Diana wasn't more pissed.
I was going to say.
I mean, we'll see what happens. Like maybe they talk about it in another episode. I know she wasn't going to do it at her party, but when he starts singing.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, go. Say it.
When he starts singing, do you feel like Kyle and some of the other ladies were like making faces thinking it's going to be bad? Like
I actually, because it's different when you hear something like through a TV than when you hear something live.
Yeah.
So I actually was like, this isn't very good.
I mean, when it first started, I actually, it started like, and like, I felt like I could be singing that, you know what I mean?
That's exactly
when it first started. So I feel like that was everybody's reaction to in the room.
Yes.
Kyle, when she's being shady about something, she does a side smile and she's looking around to see if everyone's doing the same thing. And I can feel the judgment on it and her feeling like she was judging it at first. And then once he started getting into the crux of the song, I was like, oh no, he has some chops. Like he's not bad. Like, it's not like someone who's like Melissa Gorga or like, someone or Sheena Shea, like who's just like wanting to be a singer. Like, no, he can sing. Like, I'm not going to take that away from him. Like, do you? And then everybody started getting emotional.
First they show Kathy crying. Cause so this was my journey with it. He starts singing and I'm like, oh God, this is like really mediocre. And then they cut to Kathy crying and I'm like, Kathy's crying, really? And then I realized that they're all crying. And then he hit like a better note and his voice opened up. And I was like, oh, okay, wait, he's okay.
Yeah.
It's also so different when you hear something through a TV than when you hear something live.
Oh, absolutely. I always remember when I used to watch American Idol in its heyday, and Simon would like love somebody when live, like during one of the live show. And then the next day when it's like the judging day, he would come back and he's like, you know what? I actually watched it on playback and it didn't hit as much through watching it back as it did when I was watching it in person.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn.
Yeah. It's a thing. But then motherfucking Erika, crazy pants. What in the hell? I mean, obviously she's wasted, but this is like the epitome of meltdown.
Yeah, it was wild because it's one thing to like be moved and you're singing softly along with it. She was like, throw me a microphone. We're doing a duet.
She was waiting. She's like, do you not hear what I'm doing? She really was expecting it to turn into like a duet.
Yeah, like
she was expecting
like,
him
here.
Exactly. She planned on that happening.
And it wasn't, she wasn't good.
She was,
and she's not
flat.
Good. She's not, because she's, first of all of her songs are auto-tuned and it's sing-talky. They're not actually, she's not really singing, she's sing-talking.
And like she was so flat that at one point it was throwing him off.
Oh, I remember. I felt really bad for him because it's like he can't even hear himself because you're singing so out and loud that you're and off key and flat that it's not, and don't know all the words, bitch. She did not know all the words. She was like, yes. Yeah.
Like she's like, no, well, no, different song.
Yeah, we're like, what the like, girl. I was so surprised. Diana didn't go like whip her head and be like, shh, like, you know,
just tap her, just like the gentle tap, like, or something.
Yeah, and she did it for the rest of the song until it was finished, and I'm surprised she didn't walk up there and take a bow. Like
in her mind, she was like,
she killed it in her mind.
She goes, get ready for this. And then she thought she was going to harmonize and he was going to say, Erika, get up here. And she was going to like start like slowly walking up and singing along. And they were going to be on the mic together singing.
I feel like she was like, she thought she was going to drape herself over the piano.
Yes.
It kind of just reminds me of, did you ever, and it's such an infamous moment, but back in the mid 2000s, MTV, I think it was Music Awards or Movie Awards, one of the awards for MTV. And Jay-Z and Alicia Keys were singing their hit song at the time, New York. In New York. That one. Mm-hmm. Sorry, guys, I'm not a singer. And Little Mama is from New York, and she was so drunk at this award show. It's such an infamous clip, and people still talk about it to this day. She was so drunk that she thought it was a good idea to walk up on the stage while they were performing this song, and just as if she was a part of it, she just like strolled out with such confidence. And at the end, like Jay-Z and Alicia, and they're ignoring her, by the way. They're not happy. I was gonna
say, what were they doing?
They were not happy that they were just trying to like continue as if she was not doing this. And please look this up later, Emily. It's hilarious. I actually think it'd be great to like.
I'm gonna put the clip in.
Yeah. So like at the end, like Jay-Z and Alicia Keys do this like back-to-back arm cross thing, like for the ending, and Little Mama joins them on the
No!
Yes. It is so cringy, and it just stands there as if she was a part of the performance all along. Everyone was so confused because she walked up as if she was really a part. Like we thought I would for a second there. I actually think I don't even know if it was the same night of the Kanye thing, because if it was just a lot of happening that night. Maybe MTV needs to tighten up on security and how accessible
that was
a
long ass time ago.
But
I'm sure they now have like Lil Mama protocol. Like they're like, we can't have another Lil Mama incident
or another Kanye, because that happened at the MTV Music Awards too, when he took the mic from Taylor Swift. Like MTV.
MTV. Although then the Oscars just happened. So
that's true. Jeez. I guess they just don't expect celebrities to behave that way.
They don't. They expect them to honor, and you know what? Why? Like, they just expect them to honor the like rules of an award show.
Like,
but like,
just,
why?
But if you're wasted, she was really drunk. She was really, you'll love it. It's great.
And that's what, in Erika's mind, that's what actually happened. In her mind, she's like, when she tells the story, she's like, and it was great. Asher was singing and I started singing and he called me up there and we duet together on the microphone. And I did a dance on top of the piano. And we're like, really? She's like, mm-hmm.
She really thought she killed that.
She did. Because she goes, hit that high note.
You better hit it. Well, he can't because he can't hear himself.
She goes, yes.
And she only says it because she knows she can't hit the high note. So she's just like,
yeah, she's like, you don't take this one. You got it from here, buddy. So now we're done with the performance and it's Erika, Rinna, and Diana. And Erika's like, I want one of those champagne little, Nero things. And it's like, oh shit. Kathy comes over though. And Erika, she goes, Kathy, I want to say something. And I want to get it off my chest. You've invited me to a lot of things, and I didn't want to bring my scarlet letter to your daughter's event. And she starts crying, sobbing. Now, let me tell you something here, and this is not a good thing. I've been this fucking person.
Oh, absolutely. I was like, yep. I think I did that last night.
I've been the person that is like on like just a mess. And she's like, please explain to Paris and Nikki that it's not like personal.
Nikki. Like
they're
Nikki,
fine.
Like, first of all, Nikki did not get married to Paris, as if she gives a crap that you didn't go to Paris's wedding. But okay.
I didn't want to bring the fucking shame onto something that would have been so beautiful.
And man, was she beautiful.
Kathy regrets walking over to this group so much. She's like, oh God, I guess I'm going to go inside. It's a little cold.
And she tried really hard to like get Erika back. Like she's like, you know what? It was fine. You know why? Because you told me you weren't going to be able to come. And that's all I needed. Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
And then she's like, no.
She's like, I need more from you. I'm a bad friend.
And then she kept going, but she looked fucking beautiful. And it's like, we get it. We've heard it. So she walks away over to Kyle, Crystal, Garcelle, and Sheree. Kyle was trying to say something here. I didn't like it. I don't, because she's always up to something. So there's nothing innocent comes out of Kyle's mouth.
Yeah.
She goes, the way Sutton, and Diana ended things at my house. I wouldn't think Sutton would even want to come, but she actually was really excited to come, but she tested positive for COVID. And I'm like, excuse me, one fucking second. The way they ended it at your house was Sutton gave yet another amazing apology in front of you. Diana accepted it. They said, time out. So what about that wasn't good? But you're telling these people who were not there, she just planted a seed. I knew what she was trying to plant a little seed. I could see Garcelle saw it too. Garcelle was
Garcelle is up on all of their game.
Garcelle is done with Kyle's bullshit.
Ooh, and Kyle really
Kathy comes over and right away, Garcelle's like, how's Erika? And she goes, out of control. Out of control. And I love Garcelle. She goes, do you know she told my 14-year-old son to fuck off? And Kathy goes, you never want to get to a point where you're out of control. And Kyle goes, what the hell? What has happened to Kyle? She's like, I don't know. She's like, she keeps like grabbing herself. I see she's just loosening up, so she, we should just cut her some slack. And Garcelle, you cut her some slack. I don't have to cut her some slack. You fucking. And then they flash over to Rinna trying to take Erika's drink. And she's like, okay, no more for you. She goes, now. That's it. And then Erika, she's not done. She's like to Diana. She's like, you know who inspired me to take care of my mental health? Amelia. I'm on Lexapro guess what? Now I'm on Wellbutrin and a few other things, but I'm drunk, and that's the truth. I'm okay.
I only had a couple.
Girl.
And this is because I've been there before, not on, I personally have never mixed medication, but I've never been prescribed anything to have that opportunity. So who knows what I would have done. But I just feel like whenever you're that wasted, you start making excuses of, oh, like, because it's starting to slip out and you probably are like showing your drunkenness too much. And you to try to get people to not to take that judgment element away. You're like, this is what's happening. I know I'm a little loose, but don't worry about me. I'm good. Like, everyone don't stare at me. Let me just live in my drunkenness.
And see, when you say it like sober, it sounds fine. But when you say that in that state, it sounds crazy. And so you're like, uh-oh. And so you think you're saying what you said.
Yeah, no. And it's never that way. And you keep trying to course correct. and it makes it worse.
It makes it, the more you try to course correct in that state, you're fucked.
And this is why the thing is, I've definitely been a person that has, because when I drink heavily, I'm very like lovey-dovey. I need to tell people, oh, I love you, and I gotta tell you why, and just go into a long monologue about why you're special. And I do. It's crazy every time. And I wake up very embarrassed the next morning and no one look at me.
Yeah, because you're not a mushy person when you're not. Yeah, in that state, so you must be like so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's so embarrassing because I'm very much like,
much closed
off. And then drunk Pia is like, this is me inside. But this is what I started doing to avoid that. I just leave. When I feel it, I'm like, and I'm out of there. I won't even tell people I'm leaving because I can't even like risk in the interaction with someone.
Yep. I know
out
it
of
well.
There.
I knew it.
Out of there. Like,
you got to leave quietly.
No one even knows. Like, I remember somebody, like, I went to a bar with some coworkers and I just was like, oh, I'm fucked up. I'm drunk, and not the drunk where you want to be out all night, just drunk where you're like, no, nothing good will happen from this moment on. I called my Uber. I was sitting there. No one knew I was doing. I got up, I went in my Uber and I left. The next morning, everyone was like, we thought you went to the bathroom. You never came back. I was like, no, I left. Like, goodbye.
Yeah. Because if you say bye, that's a whole process.
It's a whole thing. And they're like, no, just stay for a little while.
No.
I must leave immediately.
Yeah. So Garcelle is like, look, we got the boat, we got my party, and now tonight, Asher's singing. And Kyle's like, I guess, I'm just like ultra sensitive because, of our sister Kim. And I'm like, okay, Kathy's able to say that what Erika's doing is ridiculous. So how come you're acting like it's impossible to say that what you're witnessing with your eyes is happening?
Kyle, aren't you the one who ended the first season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
Well, that's what she's saying.
Well, I mean, no one told you to say that out loud. Like, you can, hold
on. I don't hold that against her as much as a lot of people do. And here's why. Okay. That I feel bad for Kyle in that state because that shitty mama theirs, that fucked up mama theirs, never, like, Kim probably did hurt Kyle a lot with her alcohol addiction and alcohol abuse.
Right.
But they were in that weird family where, like, you weren't allowed to talk about it.
Right.
And so young Kyle was probably holding so much in, and it was like, you keep it to yourself. And it was probably building up for so long that it was like, you're now exposing it on I don't blame her as much as everyone else.
Oh, the thing is,
wants to.
In that moment when it initially happened, all on board with everything. I felt bad for Kyle. I still do feel bad for Kyle, but Kyle since then has just done so many disgusting things that, like, I almost feel like now she's using that moment, that very real moment to justify her friend that she's created an alliance. That's what I mean. Like by that, like I just like, I know in that moment that is what happened.
Yes.
But you can't use it as a crutch to further along your agenda. And I'm not going to have it.
It's like she's using that real example of like a family history moment being shown on camera. And, you know, we know what happened there, to explain why she's afraid to even mention that what you're witnessing with your eyes. And it's not like with Kim, where Kim was never admitting she was drunk. Like Kim didn't drink on camera. She would slip things in her drinks that were, you know, supposed to be non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
Erika's admitting she's drunk.
Right.
So we're allowed to talk about it. It's not like she's saying she's not drunk and she's drunk. She's admitting she's drunk.
Yeah. And I actually feel like she's crying for help right now. She's screaming for it. She keeps telling you. She's literally, that's such a great example, because Kim was actively hiding her alcoholism, which is because she wants to continue in that state and she doesn't want anybody to intervene. Erika keeps listing out everything she's doing. I'm on this, I'm on that, I'm mixing, I'm not supposed to mix, I'm doing it. I am not. She literally said, I'm not okay. She's begging.
She actually said
she's begging for someone to intervene.
I'm okay, but it wasn't I'm okay. It was, but I'm okay.
Yeah. Like,
is anyone going to say something?
She's begging for her friends to intervene right now. And that's why I love what Crystal said.
Oh, right.
I loved, and I'm glad she said that, because I think a few episodes back when the whole Diana stuff happened on the internet, we were really curious of like how Crystal could compartmentalize that, if she's like, because she's the first one to call people out. So I think like now I'm feeling more comfortable that, or not comfortable, but more confident that we'll get some good stuff out of Crystal in the reunion.
Me too. Because she says Kyle's idea of being a loyal friend is backing them 100%. And God, if it's so obvious, Kyle is still trying to beg for forgiveness from last season when Mauricio and PK were laughing at Erika.
Oh, she's definitely has a whole
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like, this is ludicrous, Kyle. And then she's really just trying to pull this narrative that we've never seen Erika act like this before. She's just so, this is, Erika's been so level-headed, and Garcelle's like, I'm sorry, no. Okay. That's not what it is. And she brings up, she's like, I saw her lose her shit on Sutton. And I get what Kyle wanted to do there, would be like, okay, well, that's not like drunk behavior. It's like, no, but it's proof that there's mentally this woman is got issues. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to talk about here by the way, also to say someone has a drinking problem is not the worst thing in the world.
Right now she does have a drinking problem.
Exactly.
Because she's self-medicating.
Yeah.
It's not Kim's drinking problem in drinking history, but she has a problem right now because of her big problem she has in her life. Okay. So yeah, maybe if all of that wasn't happening, we wouldn't be seeing Erika so wasted, but it is happening, and it's going to continue to happen for quite some time. So are we just going to continue to let her drink herself to death, and where it becomes a really not manageable problem? We might be able to, she just started doing this, so we could course correct.
Hi. So shut up.
Yeah. And that should be even more reason to intervene, because it's like, she hasn't been having a history of drinking this heavily.
Exactly.
So if we intervene early, instead of letting it go on, very high chance that she can figure out a more healthy way to deal with her problems.
Yeah.
Kyle,
dumbass Richards. Back to Erika, though. So she's still going. She's like, I wouldn't have gotten through it without Lisa, her daughters, and other people. And Rinna is like, I need to shut this bitch up. She's like, and that's what friends are for. And then now Erika's, she's at the point of the drunk monologues where they're making zero sense. Because I tried to type out what she was saying, but this is what I typed out. This is verbatim what she said. When you want to parse it out and make it ugly and make it unfriendly and make it like, oh my God, we don't understand. That's where you run into shit. What? So then Diana just laughs. She just like, she does that thing where you kind of like try to make your friend realize like, you don't just stop. So she's like, okay.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that with Diana too. Like when she wants a conversation to be done, or she thinks that whatever you're saying is bullshit, she does like,
she goes, you're so kind of like, you're so cute.
Yeah, I actually feel like it's more of like, you're such a dumb bitch.
Yes, it's a patronizing. Okay.
Yeah, like sweetheart.
You're okay.
Now you make no sense.
It's like a bless your heart kind of vibe.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that Rena completely catches on to that. She's like, and we're about to lose our golden goose.
Yes.
If you don't shut the hell up.
Yeah. So she's like, it was a lovely party, Diana. It was beautiful. And Garcelle comes to say goodbye. And Rena's like, oh, we should go too. And Garcelle, this was actually funny because they actually both know what they're talking about. Like they kind of laugh like, mm-hmm. And Erika's like, let's go. And she stands up. Rena has to hold her up. I mean, we are in Mayday
Diana
territory.
too. I think they both were holding her up.
Both did because they stand up and then Erika falls back, cooch exposed. And then Diana's like, okay, let me get the other arm. And yeah. So then Garcelle and Diana talk. And this was weird.
Yeah.
I to be honest, I just didn't expect them to sit down and talk.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised it happened. I just thought Garcelle was going to be like, okay, bye.
I think that's what she meant. And then I think obviously Diana was putting out a vibe that like, this is my moment to talk to you alone.
And it was weird. Like, she's like, my behavior at your party was inappropriate. You know, Sutton pressed every button there was to press, you know, and then they, okay. Actually, I have a bone to pick with Bravo editors in general. When they do a flashback, like based on what someone's just said, they do a very like one-sided flashback.
Right.
You notice like when she said, you know, she pressed every button there was to press. So they only showed her being like, you're a soulless person, or only the things Sutton said.
Out of context.
Just don't do a flashback then. We know what happened.
Yeah. And it's like the fifth time we've seen this flashback, and we've seen it in 5 different ways.
And like, don't do a misrepresentative flashback. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I lashed out in a weird way. This flashback was appropriate because she's like, are you her mouthpiece? Are you her bodyguard? And they make up, but of course Diana has to throw some stupid shade in her confessional. Like, I don't know if this is, you know, Garcelle, or if this is just because Sutton isn't here.
But the thing is, I don't even think it's towards Garcelle. I think this is what I felt like that conversation was. I feel like Diana was assessing if she was going to continue her beef with Garcelle based off of her party that evening. She saw that Garcelle was really enjoying herself and being respectful to her man friend. And she was like, okay, feud done. But I feel like all the ladies together, and they've probably talked about this in their little like weird group chat, that they really want to keep the Sutton thing going. So I feel like this is again, Kyle first planting the seed about like the interaction Sutton and Diana had at her house. And then here comes Diana using like, well, this is why I behaved like this because
always.
And then, you know, later on when we get to the Erika and Garcelle bit, more seeds planted. It's just like, I feel like they are like what they have. This is what I feel like happened.
So true.
I feel like they're like, in order to properly take Sutton down, we have to get rid of we have to like turn Garcelle on Sutton, right? That is the only way, because Garcelle is a blockade. She shuts it down.
She's too strong.
She's too strong. And they're trying to break Garcelle's trust of Sutton down. Little by little by little. But Garcelle is just no match for them.
She sees right through it. It's so transparent for her, like the way she's sitting there just looking at Diana as she talks, but still giving her a smile. And
yeah. And that's what I think that's
Garcelle's
why we fell in love
boundaries
with Garcelle.
Are great.
Yeah, that's exactly, I think, why we fell in love with Garcelle. She creates great boundaries, but she doesn't do it, like, for the most part, I would say. She does it in a way that is, like, very palatable. Yes. You know, like, she doesn't have to agree with you, and she doesn't even have to show you that she doesn't agree with you. She'll listen, and then she'll make her own decision internally. And she'll give you that space to say what you want to say. And she really lets you say what you and really listens to it because she's open. But if
so true,
but she doesn't agree with you, she doesn't agree with you.
So
and that's
true.
it.
So fucking true. Like when Rinna tried to have the sit down conversation with her to be like, last year with Denise, I was out of line. And so Garcelle just stared at her like, okay,
yeah,
cool. I respected those boundaries on a lot of levels because I get uncomfortable with when people want something from me. I'm like, okay, take it. Because I know they want it. But Garcelle's like, thank you for sharing. I will give you what I feel like giving you.
Exactly.
And that's amazing.
And even I just think that like when I just look back at a lot of things that has happened to Garcelle over the years, and especially this past season, I just feel like she just always handles everything with such grace. Because I don't even know what I would have done if I had been in Garcelle's shoes and Erika had told my kid to fuck off. Oh, she handled that with such grace.
I know. Even when they flashed back to it again, I was like, oh, wow, that was so good. She came in clearly hurt, but did not get angry.
Yeah. It was just a matter of fact. Like, do not speak to my son like that.
Yes.
You hurt his feelings.
I love that. Good night.
Like, it was just it. Like, she's just so straight to the point. She's not trying to weave some, like, you know what I mean? The most of the ladies on these shows, they're putting in a lot of fluff or like a production. And it's just Garcelle's so clear and to the point, and then that's it.
So good. So good. Kathy hides Kyle's purse, and it was really cute.
So funny. It's much different than that one crazy lady on Atlanta hiding Drew's purse. But
okay, dude, that was not that. It wasn't even it. She wasn't even hiding it. She literally grabbed her purse to look through it.
That was theft
because she wanted to see if she had more dog treats in it.
That was theft.
Like, what are you fucking talking about? What?
I was gonna say, because I didn't see it in the actual episode. We just like saw it on the recap thing for Atlanta. So
for Atlanta?
So are they not gonna like include it in the episode, or is that going to be in the next episode when she takes the purse?
I don't think they're going to show it at all.
Oh, okay. So because I was waiting for that because I thought it was going to be a whole thing.
I think they purposely left it out.
Okay.
For like legal reasons, I feel.
That makes sense.
Even though Fatum's acting like it's no, she's like, I mean, why is that not? Her voice is so grating.
Yeah.
When she's when I pulled that footage to make the content, I kept having to listen to it. I was,
she's really crazy.
Yeah.
And
I really wanted to be into her. Like I was like, okay, you need a good crazy friend of here and there, but she doesn't know how to reel it in.
She's very unhinged, and she makes me uncomfortable.
I agree. Okay, this PK and Dorit DUI moment. First of all, I have never in my life, because I've had an embarrassing amount of people I know get DUIs, because unfortunately it is one of the unfortunate things about LA. We drive and you've had a drink or two here and there. So I know a lot of people have had DUIs. I've never in my fucking life heard of them taking you to the station and then driving you back home.
Oh, that's some white privilege shit.
I'm like, you did what?
I was like, what kind of like service is this? This is better than Uber. You got a free ride home?
Yeah. On suspicion of DUI. I didn't even know that was
a charge. Did he even have a fine? I feel like
because ridiculous.
That's crazy.
So bizarre. But this scene was so long and unnecessary because it was like, PK, don't ever lie to me. And it was like, you guys totally staged this to make sure that you got in front of the cameras and talked about it.
Yeah.
And it's almost like she had rehearsed lines. It felt, I mean, granted, I forget that that's just Dorit. Dorit is like that bizarre, which is why like the robbery seemed fake. But like, she's like, there's one thing and one thing only. We don't lie to each other. I'm like, okay, guys, I don't even care what the rest happened. There other things happen in the scene I don't even care about. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
It went on for way too long.
The thing is, I was like, whatever. They needed to do some PR spin for that. So I was like, I accepted it. I was like, if I was in your shoes, I'd probably do the same thing. Like that was all over the headlines. Like they needed to talk about it. So they did. So She gave him a little hell.
I know, but it went way too long.
Oh, it's definitely way too long. But, I understood the scene. So I wasn't like mad about it. So I was like, fine. You give her little minutes. I'll go do the dishes.
Right?
I was not.
You're right. You're right. I did take a break. I wrote like the quote and then I was like, okay, I'll check Instagram.
Yeah. Like, but it's just, I mean, if you have the platform to use it to spin in something,
it's just the inauthenticity of the two of them. Just it made me dislike them more.
I actually like them as a couple because I really do think that they love each other. But
I agree. But the way it was so staged, and she was like, it just,
yeah, no, I mean, and again, that's one of the biggest reasons why people doubt her robbery thing. They are very much like, we're gonna shoot this scene, and I do actually feel like they have like an outline of like what they're gonna talk about that they've rehearsed.
Mm-hmm.
I even feel like they may have ran it a couple of times to see how.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not a genuine conversation. It's definitely manufactured, but whatever.
It annoyed me because I was like, I wasn't happy about it. Here we go. All right, now we get the intervention of Erika. First we have to see a little bit of her hair, and then she kicks the hair guy out and says, Mikey, you stay. Because, Brenna said we're going to have a whole scene on camera about that. Like, I'm going to have to talk to you about it. We have to.
I felt like she let Mikey stay because that is how he gets paid now.
Sure.
Like, I feel like, because it was just so weird for her, like, you go, you stay. I'm like, this is how Mikey is. Mikey is like, if I am not getting any actual physical money, I need camera time, baby.
Doesn't he look like he's struggling? Like, this is not the Mikey we've been seeing for all these years.
Absolutely not. This man has not seen $1 from this woman in years.
He looks like he is barely paying the bills.
Like, that was just the first thing I thought. I was like, this is how Mikey is getting paid. It has to get like, he's literally, this is his reel to book other clients, and he needs FaceTime. Like,
Erika in her confessional, though, she's like, listen, I know what it's like to have everything, but I'm going to work my ass off and I'm going to get it all back.
I was doing the equations.
No, you're not.
No, she's not. I was doing the equations again. And I was like, you had this a lot of that hair.
Because
a lot of money.
Explain something to you, Erika. The shit that you had was on stolen funds. So you don't even know what it's like to work within any kind of budget. The budget wasn't real.
The budget didn't exist. And that is why you owe so much money.
Yeah.
You should have had a budget. You're
not going to get it all back.
No, you would have to. What she needs to do, she needs to move to a country that has really wealthy men, like billionaire men. She probably needs to go on Real Housewives of Dubai or something. And that is how she's going to be able to pay that back. She has to marry a billionaire. She needs to figure that out.
She can't leave the country right now. Are you crazy?
Well, I'm
sure they won't let her out of here.
She needs to pen pal somebody. See, that is literally the only I thought about.
She's gonna sell hair, and that's gonna get her Cartier Jaguar freaking head ring. No,
it's like literally. I've thought about this a lot for her. She has to marry a billionaire, and that is the only way. They have a lot of they could get her out of that. Like this, she needs to get with Elon. That's in the U.S.
I wouldn't say Elon. Let's go with just like an old billionaire. Any old billionaire she can find.
Yes, Elon would be too smart. Ironclad, prenup.
Yeah. She needs one that's like about to die. She doesn't have any morals, so she could totally handle that.
Yes. Okay, well, we figured out your legal strategy of paying that back.
Because it's not the hair.
The hair quality did look good, but
I've heard very bad things about it. A couple of accounts have done dives on it and said it's horrible.
Is it real hair? Is it synthetic?
I don't know, but I've seen Bravo Ducking Bravo did a whole dive on it, just saying it was
I'm about to go
awful. Erika hit her head and threw up when she got home, which
she's lucky she didn't die.
Right?
Like, that's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. Like, I mean, it happens, but I'm like, you're also lucky you didn't die.
The holidays are depressing her, which fuck, dude, I can only imagine. Shit's pretty bleak. But Mikey chimes in appropriately and says, I know you. and you're not really a drinker. And I'm like, Mikey, that's not true. Okay. I'm not saying she's a drunk by any means, but we have seen this woman enjoy her alcohol from day one.
Right.
She's always enjoyed alcohol. She's been drinking champagne in her confessionals since literally her first season. So she likes to drink. That's her thing. She admits it. So I get that I get what you're trying to do. That's really cute. But anyway, Rinna gets through to her and it's effective for that scene. Because it ain't gonna last.
Oh, absolutely not. No, no.
Oh, God.
No, she's gonna need to like really get some help if it's just getting worse.
Because being like in the middle of filming, trying to like not get sober, but like trying to get it together it's such a intense situation. So I'm sure when you get to an event, you want to drink because
absolutely.
It's like cameras are up and you're gonna have to be in a scene with people that you don't generally get along with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure she would love to be drunk. Sutton goes to Garcelle's and it's just lovely to see them together. Sutton is so funny with Jake, Garcelle's son.
Yeah.
With like she's like, can I still say Merry Christmas? And he's like, She's like, how long can I say Happy New Year? And he's like, literally the next day. And that's it. And she's like, oh, come on. I need more than that. It was I loved the whole thing.
I loved it because it shows that Garcelle and Sutton are very good friends because she is so comfortable talking to Jake. And that's why it's so upsetting that they're like trying to put a wedge in between a genuine friendship. This is not like, I don't feel like this is a TV friendship. Like I really feel like that they talk on a regular basis and they hang out on a regular basis outside of filming.
Yeah, they do. So Garcelle starts recapping the holiday party and the way she's like, Asher sang and his hair was flowing. And I think Sutton says like Harry Styles. And then she says Erika was more than tipsy and just like, it's becoming a problem. And then Sutton goes, yeah, well, I'm not going to be touching that. And Garcelle goes, yeah, no, you don't do anything with her. I'll take care of this. Yeah. And Sutton in her confessional is like, can you imagine how that would go? Excuse me, Erika, I think you have a drinking problem. Yeah. I love that she has the self-awareness to know that like, that is not the move.
Yeah. She's like, I already spoke up for the first thing. Someone else take this one, please.
Hold on. I need to like stop right now because it's so dark behind you that I feel like a murderer is going to like come and kill you.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't even see myself because there's like a pop-up.
Can you?
I don't have like my ring light down here.
No, I know. But can you turn that light on behind you? I'm scared a murderer is going to come get you.
I don't know how to because it's just like automatic. It's one of those things where it's like it moves like it's motion sensor.
Okay. Keep the lights on. Oh, thank God. I was like, Pia, you're going to die.
Don't do that.
I can't. No, I can't. I'm the one looking at it. Is it just a wall? Behind you?
What?
It's just a wall right behind you, right?
There's a door over there that a killer could slip in and then like. See? I feel like Scream vibes, like.
Yeah. So
like, and then you see me.
Just randomly move your hands just to keep that light on. Yeah. So I mean, I'm watching, but I can only do so much.
I literally fell asleep watching that Dateline Last Day show, or whatever, the last day. And Sean had just like left for work, and the way our door opens, it's like a fob, so it like makes like a like a electronic noise when you open up the door. And I like fell asleep watching this documentary, and I heard the door open in my dream, and I tried to call out, like, because that would be weird for him to be back so quickly. And I called out, and I swear to God, I was awake. And then I woke up. And I called out, and I could like barely had a voice to call out. It was like one of those things where I was like, and I was just like, someone's in here. And then when I woke up, I was like, did that really happen? Is someone in here right now? I was like, I'm going to die.
Oh, I hate that feeling. Okay. So just keep periodically moving your arms and hands to keep the lights on. It was really sad hearing Sutton talk about how her ex has got a new girl and they were in Italy with her kids and she was alone on Christmas. But I did like the fact that she called every ex that she's ever had when she was sick with COVID.
I mean, that is so.
I would do it.
That's so. I was gonna say that is so relatable. I think that was so. That's why you know what? right now I like Sutton because I feel like she is just
week
open.
3. Week 3, we're still liking Sutton.
Yeah, she's open and honest, and she is just she does not care. She's letting us know this is her experience.
Yeah. But then Sutton's getting ready for her date.
God.
And I kind of can't believe how bad that goes. But before that happens, Dorit goes over to Kyle's. Kyle asks, she goes, you drove yourself here? Remember why she asked that? Because Dorit said she couldn't drive by herself.
Oh, I didn't even catch. Oh my God. I didn't even catch that. Kyle is so fucking shady.
I was like, what? I mean, I don't know if she meant it like, oh, good for you, or if she needed.
No, I don't like now that like, no, that was absolutely trying to like, she doesn't like, I feel like her and Dorit have a frenemy relationship.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't feel like, I feel like it's on Kyle's and I don't actually feel like it's on Dorit's. And I think Dorit is always trying to have a genuine friendship with Kyle. And Kyle just almost wants to keep she's like, she likes her, but then she also doesn't like her sometimes. But she's like, I don't know.
It's competitive.
You know what I mean? It's very
Kyle's competitive with everybody.
And it comes from the whole Lisa Vanderpump situation.
Yeah.
That's how that whole, their friendship formed and that frenemy shit formed. Because they're fighting over Lisa Vanderpump.
100%. So they talk about like PK's DUI and how like Mauricio knew and didn't tell Kyle. And now Kyle's mad at Mauricio for that.
I thought that was weird that she was mad at Mauricio for that. I'm like, relax.
Take it down a notch.
And then wanted to be on the show because she knows you and how you operate.
Kyle talks about how she has to find my friends and it's like all her kids and they very sweet, cute that her kids are like, because Kyle literally doesn't judge her kids for anything they do. But then Dorit goes, I have one thing, and this is in her confessional. Never lie to me. Whatever it is, we will always get through it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just Dorit, right? She just talks crazy.
No, yeah, she's just very performative, but like
over the top,
but in a genuine way.
Yeah,
she meant
Dorit.
it. That's little Dorit.
I guess I just wasn't in the mood for her this week.
Dorit's been very flat for me. She's like, if we had like a chart of everybody that like and how they make me feel, she's very just in the median, just not doing anything.
And I think that's a good point. I think that's why when she does her moments, I'm like, this isn't I don't care anymore. Like this is kind of all you do.
Yeah.
And okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And everything is said with the same cadence and the same energy that it's like, there's no levels to it.
Yeah.
It could be about anything. So it's so fake.
Yeah. Even, okay, sorry. I just like thought about it. It is very fake, but I just like thought about the dynamics between Kyle and Dorit again. And I'm so mad that I missed that moment that you just brought up because it just reminded me of like, that's how I felt like she was doing. When she was like poking fun at Dorit being so excited about all the things that Jamie Lee Curtis was pulling out of her like gift bag.
Yeah.
It's that same energy because she's almost like, oh, Jamie Lee Curtis isn't my friend. And I see what you're trying to do here. Like that's the energy. Like she was like, yeah. So you really think everything that's coming out of Jamie's bag is so amazing. Like I see you. I'm just trying to get my friend that I've known since 1972. Like,
so true.
Yeah, no, that's the energy I felt from Kyle. And she just always has hints of that. Yeah. And I even feel like she was making fun of Dorit when Dorit was genuinely, and even she was being over the top, but like saying how much PK loves Mauricio and he would take a bullet.
Bullet.
Yeah. I mean, she's super dramatic, but she's just like, she genuinely is trying to express how much she loves the friendship of Mauricio and PK. And like, she really loves that they're such good friends. And here's Kyle's hating ass like, okay. Like, I feel like she's like, I don't love that. That they're so damn close because then now Mauricio is keeping things from me.
So jealous of everybody.
She is. She's very possessive.
I think it's because of her shitty mom, like pitting the daughters against each other.
Yeah, she doesn't really have great dynamics with women. Like she's a very like love-hate situation with women. She loves Kathy and Kim, but at the same time, she's always like, there's always just this like tug of war They can never just be on one accord.
Now we get to Sutton's date.
God. Did she have to wear that cat sweater?
She kitten sweater with leather shorts. Or okay, girl.
And these like motorcycle boots. Sutton is probably the worst dresser I've ever seen with the most expansive budget. Because all that stuff probably costs a lot of money.
This was so uncomfortable.
I was like, what the fuck are you wearing?
And then he's so uncomfortable. And he's like, let me try something. He's like, I love the music scene out here. And she's like itching her foot. She goes, my foot's itching because I have neuropathy.
God.
God. And then she goes, yeah, no, I like something, whatever. And then it just continues to stay awkward. And he looks like he practically wants to tell the producers, like, can I just go?
Yeah. He
was like, do I have to finish this whole scene?
And like, even like from down to the ordering. Oh my God.
Oh my God. And then at one point she says something like, I'm just giving you the insider POV if you want a third date with me. And then he just stares straight and she goes, no. Oh my God. It needs to stop. I would have begged them to cut this scene.
Oh my God. She doesn't. And the thing is, I feel bad because I just think that she is not. The first date that she described sounded like a really cute date, and which is probably why he was excited for the second one. But there was no cameras at the first date. I don't think I think Sutton was too self-conscious to have the second date, and she needs to do her dating off camera until she's comfortable in that relationship, and then she can bring the person on. I feel like she was so hyper aware of the cameras. This was like the most hyper aware of camera she was. She was so nervous to have this date
so
filmed.
Bad.
And whoever her stylist is, that man that was in that closet needs to be fired.
That was in that closet.
Because I was like, the first thing I saw was this damn kitten sweater. And I was like, that's what we put on?
No, we didn't.
I was like, also, okay, are we trying to be like, this is me and I need you to like, I want to know. It's like, I want to know if you would be down to date me, even if I wear something crazy.
Yeah, it was a test.
Was that a fucking test?
That's what it felt like. You
couldn't possibly have thought that was a cute outfit when you walked out.
It felt like it was
crazy. First of all, in what world do you wear those type of boots, Sutton? Sutton, shut the hell up with those boots.
It was so bad.
She got them out of her teenage daughter's closet. That is not short boots.
It was so bad.
The only thing that made sense with the kit was the kitten sweater. I was like, I don't know where she borrowed the damn shorts from Crystal, the boots from her daughter. That was her sweater. So it didn't make no damn sense.
It was so weird.
I was Sutton, I wouldn't wear leather ever after telling Crystal.
After telling someone exactly after your ugly
leather pants.
You can never wear leather again.
Everything leather would be thrown out.
Right? Okay, well, now we get to the last scene of the episode, which is Garcelle meeting Erika for drinks. Before we get into the nastiness of it, how great did Garcelle look?
I know. Garcelle is like very hit or miss. Either she is just
we've discussed it. This was this was one of her very rare. It's like 1 in 10.
Yeah, I will say that her Christmas sweater that she wore to Diana's grew on me as the episode went.
I was going to say this episode, I liked it. I was like, oh wait, okay, never mind. It
grew on me.
Agreed. It ended up
mad about it anymore.
I ended up really liking it. Actually,
yeah, I did.
It's like, this is chic. Okay, never mind. So
I was like, yes, you would wear tinsel to this fucking fabric. Of course, this is where you would wear it to.
Yeah. So I take back what I said last week.
Me too.
But she looked so hot.
She looked great.
The lacy boosty. Yay. Ooh, she looked good.
Yeah.
And Erika makes, she wastes no time saying, Erika or Garcelle's like, how's your dating life? She's like, sex life better than dating life. I'm like, okay, good Lord. We get it. So Erika does what all of us would do. She does her best to order a non-alcoholic beverage. And when they don't have it, she just orders a cognac.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Let's just go straight to the hard liquor.
I'm like, how?
It's like the polar opposite. I'll have a virgin cocktail. I'll just have straight liquor.
Yeah. And like even Garcelle's like, how about water? Shirley Temple. Like there's so many other avenues before you get there. And so Garcelle tries to be polite. She's like, last time I saw you, you were a little tipsy. And Erika goes, I was blacked out. And so it's like, okay, look, we're admitting it. And so then Erika like claims that, Lisa Rinna's spoken to her. She now sees she's got to get it together. And Garcelle gives it to her. Garcelle literally believes, she's like, in her confessional, she's like, look, first step is admitting it. And if Erika's going to say this to me, why not believe her? So she gives it to her. And so Erika says, it's like now that I've had everything taken away from me and my eyes are just so much more open now. Mm-hmm. And I swear Garcelle knew that this was an opportunity to have Erika say something stupid, but I don't think she knew just how stupid it would be. Because she said, okay, well, what do you see anything different about our friend group now that your eyes are open? And Erika wanted to say something like sage and sound. So she was like, she got like all stoic and like that weird, like statuesque, like stiff thing she does. Mm-hmm. And then she said, like, we're going to break this down. Cause when the first bit of it came out of her mouth, I was like, she said, it's a good thing you have Cherie. What the fuck does that mean? Because Sutton is a liability.
That was the worst choice of words. Sutton's a liability girl.
Okay, but also, what do you mean it's a good thing she has Cherie? Because you're admitting that that the rest of you don't like her. She's admitting that the rest of you aren't on her side.
Right.
She kind of is on an island.
She kind of outed the fact that like there are definite cliques and people who have their alliances and you're not a part of their alliance. So it's good that you do have someone else besides Sutton because she's not going to be the right person to go on this journey with, essentially.
She's not the one that you should be aligning with. And Sutton is a liability. What a fucking word to use.
And I almost feel like she's saying liability because I feel like Erika in this way is in this moment is outing their whole plan. She's saying, yeah, you're attaching yourself to our target.
Yep.
And we don't care if you're collateral damage.
And then like, to be honest, I don't think Garcelle covers for Sutton. I don't really find that.
I don't think so either.
Step in. If you want to say covering for anyone this season, Kyle's covering for Erika.
Rinna, always for Erika.
And then also remember when they were trying to speak for Crystal earlier in the season when the whole thing was going down with Sutton, they were like literally speaking for Crystal at that table in Mexico. Mm-hmm. So when she's like, you don't have to cover for her all the time. She's a big girl. She knows what she's doing. Yeah. What are you guys trying to spin about Sutton?
She's trying to be like, when we're attacking Sutton, you need to stop giving her confidence to speak up against us and backing her up. Like when at the first episode, when we're at Harry Hamlin's birthday. And if Garcelle, to be fair, if Garcelle wasn't there, I don't know if Sutton would have brought out the receipts because of, Diana making it like,
oh,
so like, it's not that she's the difference is Garcelle isn't covering up, but she is definitely giving Sutton her confidence to speak out against these ladies
because she's the ally.
Yeah. So what I feel like Erika is trying to do is dismantle that and have mostly Garcelle sit quiet when these moments happen and let Sutton either sink or swim on her own. Don't be her preserver. But it's not really a preserver because Sutton can speak out. It's just like, I just think that it's always nice to have someone who's in the room that also is open to hearing your perspective. And instead of just one brain yelling at you, all these women on the same agenda yelling at you, gaslighting you, if you will.
This was literal gaslighting at its finest. Garcelle, though, once again, what did she do? She just took it in. And she said, yes, she is my friend. I don't do that. Like, just simple responses.
Yeah.
What? Not reacting, just letting her hang herself with her own rope.
Yeah.
The fuck are you talking about, Erika?
Exactly.
Yeah. Next week looks, I can't tell if they're editing, doing some trickery, because Rinna's going to have her rosé party and Erika's seemingly going to be like, what's in this? This is fucking great. And they may just be like editing it, but then Sutton's going to say something like, you talk out of both sides of your mouth. And Rinna is going to say, fuck you, you do too. And then they cut to her going, I will fucking hunt you down.
I think that's out of context. I don't think
that's out of context.
When I saw that part, I was like, no, she's not talking. I don't even think she's talking to anybody in that group. I think she's probably talking about,
she's telling a story
of like people coming after her on the internet, maybe about something her family like or something. I don't think that. No, I don't. I don't think. I think that's a red herring.
And look, and if it is going to be towards someone, then we'll be pleasantly surprised. But I'm not buying it for 1 second.
Do you think Rinna's going to have another conversation with Erika? Because I felt like in the earlier, I wasn't sure if that was the conversation she had or if it's gonna be because of this rosé party, because it's her rosé party.
Well, I don't know, because when they all went on Teddy's podcast, Erika said that at one point she gets really upset with Rinna, and like they were really mad. But
right.
She's like,
so that's why I feel
that can't be from the first conversation.
Right. So I'm thinking it's because the thing is, Rinna's only going to get mad about something if it directly affects her. And if it was her rosé party for whatever coin she's trying to get, or what, I don't know, whatever this rosé thingy is for. And Erika,
Rinna rosé.
Oh, that was okay. So then if this is going to directly affect her, then that's when she'll get upset. That is only time she ever gets upset about anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't tell, because it doesn't, they would have shown more footage, in my opinion, if Erika was getting wasted. They only showed her doing one little thing.
I feel like we've seen enough footage of Erika getting wasted that they wouldn't even need to waste time showing us that. Has a clear pattern of over drinking at all these events. Like we know that if she started drinking, she's going to be a mess. Like we established it hardcore at this point in the season.
And they don't want to give away too much, maybe.
Right. Because I think it's going to be
for once.
I think that this is probably going to be the most of the episode, or whatever the meat of the episode.
And then the very end will be Rinna yelling at her.
Yeah. So I think that it would be if I'm correct, it would be unneeded for them to show her more drunk, because I almost assume at this point, if there's alcohol involved in Erika Girardi or Jane, she's going to be a hot mess express.
You know what I just realized now that we've wrapped up this recap? I didn't like this episode. I felt like this episode was horribly put together.
It was an okay episode. It wasn't as bad as that one episode a few episodes back.
No, that was a filler episode. But this one, and just in terms of the way they're piecing it together, it's like the pacing of it's weird.
I feel like this was almost another filler episode, but with a little bit more in it, because I almost feel like they left the Kathy thing in this episode to start the like maybe the reason why Eric is going after Kathy is because Kathy is starting to like see her behavior and actually speak up about it too. And maybe she's aligning with Garcelle. I don't know.
I don't mind them leaving in anything in the group scenes. Just
not leaving it in, but I'm just saying, like, I almost feel like the piecing of it together is like little seeds to see how we get to this big.
Oh no, I'm talking shit about the literal pacing and editing and like production side of it. Yeah, I don't mean like the actual like meat of the scenes. I mean the literal like maybe because I take notes on it. Yeah. So I notice that more because I like go through and have to like piece together like how we're going to talk about it. Yeah. And it's choppy.
It is. It was pretty all over. Like it definitely felt like, yeah.
Like I actually kind of want to go back through my notes and position how the scene should have gone. Because they actually were almost out of order. Because like I didn't enjoy nothing. I enjoyed you, obviously. I didn't enjoy going through this episode like it felt like I was stunted the whole time. I'm like, and now this scene.
Yeah, you know what it is? I think that we picked up on an actual really good scene. We were at the party, which was fun. And then immediately after the party ends, all it is these manufactured meetups that the producers put together and threw onto the end of the last part of this party. You know?
Well, no, we get PK and Dorit's long DUI
right. It's
scene.
just like all these segments just like pasted together, and the tones don't match.
Yeah.
So the pace, you know what I mean? So it does. I like now thinking about it, like that does make sense of why it feels kind of like what the fuck kind of ride are you taking me on?
Yeah, it's choppy. And so now we're at the end of it. I'm like, that nothing flowed.
No, you're right about that. It's definitely all of the like things that they needed to just get done, and they just kind of like, this I guess is fine.
Yeah, because they know it's like they knew they wanted to end. They knew where they're going to begin and end.
Yeah,
and they didn't really care about the middle.
Correct.
And so they were like, here's this scene, because the cast is so fucked up right now.
Yeah,
it's like the cast is like, I like this season. I'm not going to say I don't like this season, because I know we're about to get even more meat. And I have a feeling that this is going to be like the last season we get a lot of these annoying cast members. Because I really do feel like this is Rinna's last season.
I hope so. I'm over her so much.
I feel it.
What about Kyle? I don't know.
Kyle will. I feel if Kyle's willing, which she will be, they'll have her. But they should.
I don't think that they'll fire her. But I almost feel like Kyle might like back out. I don't know. This wasn't the best season for her. I feel like the reunion will be
true because she really cannot take it from like she takes criticism so harshly.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's coming at her. Although she gets it pretty bad every season.
But this is different. It feels like the editing for her has not been as like favorable in the sense of like, I feel like they used to go out of their way to like, I don't know, just not leave in little things that I'm like noticing. Like a lot of people are saying that like, it's just it just feels different with her editing this year. I feel like I felt like all the ladies were fair game this season, which I like.
Yes. But what's happened, I think, with that is it's really exposed just how disconnected the cast is. Probably like for Garcelle, it must feel so weird, like to be a part of it. Because when you really are actually seeing the reality, it's like, oh, is this what it's like?
Yeah.
Is this what it's like when it's not, you guys aren't being totally protected? Like I'm more impressed with Garcelle now than ever before. Because I get to see more of what she's been dealing with and navigating through.
Yeah. All right.
Well, there we go. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Please give this video a like if you're watching on YouTube. Leave a little comment below. Say hi in the comments. I love getting to know you guys. And if you are listening on a podcast, please give me a nice 5-star rating. It really, really helps me out. And Pia, follow her on TikTok and Instagram. She's been posting really pretty wedding coverage of all the wedding events she's been going to lately.
I'm going to another tomorrow. Yes, not so packed.
Pia loves an entrance. She loves an ensemble. So she gives great content. You'll follow her at PiaJV. I'll leave everything in the description, and follow me at She Speaks Bravo. And love you guys. Mean it. Bye.
Bye.